Well, it took me 15 days into the new year to want to talk about it. I don't know necessarily if it's anything to talk about so far. I mean, we're doing the same thing over and over again. People are just being lazier and lazier. We're slowly coming upon that that end of days reality, I think. You know, like how they always like, oh man, the decline of society. I don't know. You know, it's been like I remember as a kid, I always resented it because I was the youth, you know, I was the up and comer. So like, if you're complaining about how today's youth is lazy, that was me then. You know, I was 10 years old 15 years ago or so. $17 years ago. Anyways, but I don't know. It's not my fault. It's not your fault if you're my age. You know what I mean? The decline of society is an inevitability based on advancements. Stephen Hawking wasn't bullshitting us whenever he warned us about artificial intelligence and the ramifications of allowing a program to decide the fate of humanity. Like, it's like right now it seems so far away, but go watch the second Tron movie, not the cartoon. Watch the second Tron movie and trip the fuck out on how Clue, Jeff Bridges' youth, tries to destroy, you know, everything to purify the system, to purify the world, to purify reality. And so I think that's what the third installment of Tron was going to be, was him actually crossing over and going, oh, look at all this, look at this virus, look at this plight that this universe has on the other side. Even the users are failures. Even the users have flaws. That's not Corona, just so you guys know. I've only been tested once for Corona, and I had it. But I wasn't even, like, I felt nothing. I felt, well, I was like, I had like kind of a thick head for like 3 days. But this isn't Corona though, because this happened whenever the weather changed, and I wasn't in contact with anybody that was sick. I don't think that this shit just materializes, but also we've got a lot of molds and shit in the valley. We're an agricultural valley here. And this is when all the molds and spores and shit, you know, they fucking grow because... Anyways, I don't have fucking COVID. And those of you that are dying from COVID, you have 4 other comorbidities. My mom was trying to... That's what I was getting at. Grumpy old ladies stuck on repeat are driving me nuts with this fucking thing. This is part of the glitch. Because instead of adapting and giving us timeless help, everybody just keeps everybody's on a loop of what makes them mad. I'm probably already on that loop too, but it's you know, I don't even want to. I was gonna engage on the show with some people, but I don't even want to. I was gonna do it at first, and so I smoked, and then I started talking to somebody, and then I was just like, oh my god, she's told me the same thing 17 times now. I keep trying to like expand on it's not working, so I just walked away and did the show by myself. But now I'm going to talk about it on the show. Because actually what I was listening to was the radio. I was listening to some journalist. And I think that it's interesting because a person calls himself a journalist. Let's break down that. What are you supposed to be doing? You're supposed to be journaling your perspective. That makes anything you write an editorial. That means that it is not fact-based. It is just your perspective. Journalism does not mean that you know what the fuck you're looking at. Okay? Just so you know. I'm a journalist then. I'm a journalist. And my podcast is my journal. And so is my music. So you go look at my journal. And you can see how many times I touch myself. You know what I'm saying? But it's my perspective. And that's a journalist, a perspectivist, an editorialist. But like everybody wants to think that a journalist means that you're a fact producer. And so I was just listening to the news, and they were talking about left versus right and how the right is always crushing journalism. They're always debunking journalism. So now nobody knows what to believe because the right has knocked down journalism. But dude, the thing is that if you're a journalist for the right, then the left is knocking down your journalism too. And so everybody's debunking each other with no facts. Because we don't even know what facts are anymore. Because of the internet, and because of fucking algorithms, and because of Russians, and because of Chinese, and because, you know what I'm saying? We don't know. Who's your friend anymore? Do you fucking know who your friends are? I know who my friends aren't anymore. I made some fucking crops. And some of them fucking, you know, some of them left on their own because they knew it was just their fucking, dude, but like, how many times can we do the same cycle? You know what I mean? I'm not in that fucking cycle anymore with you. You want to do the same thing over and over again, over and over and over and over. I'm sick of the fucking circles. You want to tell me something 17 fucking times? I heard you the first 2 times. So shut the fuck up now. Nobody cares. You know, I even asked too, like, so whenever you have a problem like this, whenever you feel that somebody has sabotaged you, this is what I was talking to this lady about. I'm not going to go into specifics because it doesn't fucking matter, because everybody's a paranoid fucking weirdo right now, and everybody thinks everybody's out for somebody else's shit. You know what? They are. Everybody's out to get all of your money. That's all. That's the whole game. Get your money before you die. Take all your money. I'm going to take all your money before I die. And I'll leave some for my kid, maybe. If I don't spend it all before I die. But that's the fucking game. That's the only game that anybody's fucking really playing. If you're worried about a conspiracy. Getting your money is controlling you. Making you think that you need fancy shit. But at the same time, like, I'm in this planet too. So am I just as flawed because every once in a while I blow, you know, $350 on a fucking VR? Or maybe I fucking spend another $150 in random shit on Amazon. Because I'm not doing what Gary Vee told me to do. I'm not saving my money. And I'm not fucking going to fucking prison for some guy spitting in my wife's face. You know, all these fucking intelligent billionaires giving us information on Instagram. So what's the end game? Well, you got to just start muting people. I'm like more focused than I've ever been because I quit doing the loop with everybody else. Because I want to be helpful. So I keep turning up. I keep showing up. You know what I mean? I'm present. And it's not like I think I'm going to win anything, because usually that's what I tell everybody. You got to be present to win. If you want the job, you got to go to the fucking place where the job is. And unless you're Elon Musk, and then if you don't have the courage to go ask for the job over and over again, then you just go create the job yourself. And you start your own building. Start your own fucking world. But 17 fucking times I gotta hear this fucking lady's story. And I'm like, so what's the solution? Like, if you go to somebody else and tell them what happens? And she's like, nothing happens, because they don't give a fuck. And I'm like, well, because I'm more like a vengeance kind of person, I would go fucking track that person down and then either, decide how I was going to deal with it. But maybe me and that person go fix this situation ourselves together. And I let them know why this is bothering me. And why we're going to go redo this together. You know what I mean? I'm going to hold your fucking dumbass hand. And we're going to go fix this together. And I'm going to tell you why I'm upset. Because I already did this once. But now you've undone it and redone it in a stupid way. And so now I have to reconcile the issue. Am I the only one that thinks like that? I mean, and I'm not even trying to be aggressive in my manner. You know what I mean? By doing this, I don't think that I'm aggressive by instilling ethics into somebody else, But fuck, dude. Some people, that's all they want to do is complain. They don't have the solutions. All I can do is complain about the complainers and make a show about it that makes people consider their complaints, or at least their outward complaining. But, even if you're complaining in your own mind, just so you know, you're giving yourself fucking cancer. You're generating acids. You're generating acidic cellular movement in your body. Now, I'm not a fucking scientist. I'm kind of making that up, but at the same time, I feel like it's right. It seems right. Stress causes acidity, for sure. You ever get an upset tummy because you're scared? You ever get an upset stomach because you're worried? You're creating juices in your tummy because you're being a stress. So if you can't smoke weed, you can't eat weed, maybe because of your job, I would recommend some other techniques. Learn how to meditate, because weed doesn't even work for everybody. But also, I'm one of those people, I would choose my health over my paycheck most of the time. I inhaled some weird fucking meth on a gig I did the other day. I did not enjoy that. Have you ever, so I'll just tell you this crazy story. So I have this gig. I go to this place. I'm like walking around. I discover a secret room. I go into the room. discover yet another room on that room, go into that room, start getting a weird feeling, decide I need to leave, I've been here too long anyways. I go out. As I'm leaving, I start to feel more anxiety, like a gloom, almost like that, that feeling, like that overcast feeling that you feel like a vignette through your sight and you're about to pass out. It wasn't quite that strong, but I felt it, like all of a sudden the sun went behind a cloud and all of a sudden I was just kind of in this gloom. And so I thought, I just need to get going, maybe even grab, get a soda or a coffee or something, you know what I mean? It's like late in the day. I really didn't eat much that day. I had something earlier that day. So, I might be having like a little sugar crash or something. And so I go to leave, and I drive about a block and a half from the location. And I'm like, all of a sudden I start sweating bullets. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I grab my coffee cup from earlier that day. And I just make the most wrenching dry heave. Actually, here, I'll have a cup right here. And I was like, what the fuck? And I did it again. And then I felt fine. And I was just like, dude, that was like a chemical reaction to something. But it was like, it took my body a while of taking it in to have a response. So I don't know if there was meth. I thought it was, I'm kind of, everything to me seems like it goes in the form, if I find a secret room, to me it's a grow room, because I'm a weed-oriented person. I forget that meth and cocaine and heroin and fentanyl and all these other drugs also have to be produced and sold on the street. Because I don't really hang out with that shit. So like I'm always thinking just grow room. Oh, look, a secret room, grow room. But in this case, it didn't smell. I mean, it smelled pungent. It had like a moist odor. That's another reason why I just thought, oh, grow room. And it had like a green hue. But it might have been the walls were painted green, or it could have been just the lighting, like there was like a green wall. I don't know. But to me, the twice in a fucking air vomit into a coffee cup was the fucking funniest shit I've ever endured. And I was like, okay, next time I go into a place like that, I'm taking a filter mask. I'm gonna wear like a mask, like one of those, like those fucking hazmat guys wear, just to be safe. Because, sometimes, again, you don't know. Chemicals in the air are usually, they don't make a green skeleton face in the air. You know what I mean? Like in Scooby-Doo. They don't make like a purple waft with a skull appearing in it to let you know that you're in a deadly situation. The world is a lot like that. And if you just assume that there are invisible gases trying to fucking kill you at all time, you don't have to tell somebody 17 times what has made you grumpy on a Monday. You don't have to tell that story, actually, at all. Because as soon as you see that shit's fucked up, you can just take a deep breath and go, shit, that gas is trying to fucking kill me.